And so, my dear ones, welcome back into the sanctuary again. Sunday, Father's Day. Well, I would like to give all the fathers in the audience a round of applause. It is the world's most noble profession to be a parent. So, mums and dads, I honor that and your wonderful challenge in being the best parent that you can be. But today we celebrate the daddies, and we know that they're having a great good day. And I see some of the daddies are already somewhere barbecuing and picnicking and doing all of that, and rightly so. But today we continue with what we're looking at this month, which is freedom from discord. And this particular Sunday, we're asked to look to see for ourselves a world wherein every person and every thing, all of life, can flourish and can thrive. But you know, there is no flourishing and thriving and growing and developing without that sense of belonging. And in a world where we are now, many of us, in fact, most of us, don't have any sense of belonging at all. In fact, most of us feel that we're on the outside looking in. And even within the pampered societies amongst us, and we'd be one of them, there is within our own communities and our own experience people who feel they don't belong. So it's a difficult thing, it's a challenging thing when you feel estranged, separate, isolated from all those around and about us most particularly, and feel the loneliness of that. I mean, I can be much more alone in a crowd than I can be on my own at times. And I'm speaking the I in the royal sense, that all of us can have that experience of being alone in a crowd, and even sometimes alone in a group of people that love and support us. That estrangement is there. And so what is the challenge for us? Well, that sense of belonging to what, to whom? Well, the sense of belonging to the world, to the tribe, to the community, to the family. These are areas in which we all have sort of a kind of a sense of belonging. But the most essential experience of belonging is the belonging to ourselves. We need to know that we belong first and foremostly to ourselves and have that sense of self, and have that sense of being comfortable in ourselves, at home in ourselves, safe within our own company, happy to be in our own company, being really okay with all of that, having that sovereign sense of belonging to myself with self-power, self-authority, self-sovereignty. So as we move into that stage of wakefulness for ourselves, we move through various other stages. And the first stage of belonging, or the first sense of power, is the tribal sense. It's what we're born into. We're born into the tribe. We are born into its sense and its sensibilities. We're born into its culture. We're born into its mores, into its customs. We're born into its heritage. We're born into that tribal awareness that I belong to this group, this tribe. And as such, I must be part of the tribe. And to be part of the tribe and belong to the tribe, I must be in congruence with its rules and regulations, and with its principles, and with its beliefs, and all that goes with that. That's what's expected of me as a member of the tribe. And so the result of that, and my empowerment from that, is to look at a group situation whereby I can only grow at the speed of the tribe. I can only create at the speed of the tribe. I can only go forward at the speed of the tribe. I can only heal at the speed of the tribe, and so on and so on. So my personal growth and development is linked so closely to the tribe that I'm either stopped, blocked, or helped along in my own process. And of course, as you know, to belong to a tribe, you have to be initiated into it. All tribes have their initiations. you know, whether they're cultures or whether they're religions or whether they're even families, there are initiations into the tribe and the religion and the family and so on. We're not even aware of it most of the time, but we do have our customs, and those customs are expected to be followed. So really and truly, the authority is in the tribe. It's tribal authority, and I must be in compliance with whatever that looks like. And so the next sense and sensibility, of course, is for you and me to get to the point where now we're standing back from the tribe and we're saying, well, I'd like some personal power, personal sense of myself. So I don't know that I'm fully in congruence with all this tribal sense and sensibility. I'd like to have a sense of myself and my own power. I'd like to have self-authority, self-empowerment. And so I find myself then being dissociated from the tribe insofar of its compliance to its customs and so on, to the point that eventually I decide I'm no longer part of this tribe, because I'm going to stand now my own power, my own sovereignty, my own authority, and I am going to self-govern. I'm going to self-govern, and I want to be able to grow at my own speed. I want to be able to advance at my own rate. I want to be able to feel that I have a sense of myself, and I can't get it within the tribe. Now, the tribe can give us wonderful, great, good things too. The tribe can give us protection. The tribe can give us a wonderful set of principles to live by if it's a great tribe. It can offer us that kind of support. It's a place where we can always come home to and so on, and feel that we have a place there. But for some, that sense no longer seems to be enough, and more is required. So we go into personal power now. But with that comes the responsibility of taking on responsibility for my own life. And so I cannot blame the tribe. I cannot run back to the tribe, and so on and so forth. If I'm going to stand in my own sovereignty, that's where I need to stand in. That doesn't mean I can't visit my tribe and be okay with my tribe and be part of, that warmth still and sense of the tribe as something that is familiar to me, something that once served me and served me very well. But I go back into it with a sense that's different. I go back in knowing I'm not depending upon the tribe for my well-being, that responsibility is mine. And then there's a further sense of power that's gained from soul power. You see, I have tribal and personal, and then the soul power, cosmic power. That is the kind of power I get from going into witness mode, observation mode. I can stand back from all that is in form, including myself. And I can witness it from a different perspective and a different point of view. I can simply witness it as goings on, like I would witness a play on a stage, you see. I can witness my life as this play on a stage, and I can step back from it, and I can know that these are characters on the stage of life, and they're not all by any manner of means of who and what I am. And everyone's life is a stage, all the world's a stage. And on that stage are all your sense and sensibilities, all the committee that meets in your mind, all those things we give life to and create and imagine that dictate to us who we are and what we are and how we are. They're all players up there on the stage, and that stage can be very crowded. The whole tribe can be up there, etc., etc., etc. It's whatever you're allowing it to be. And it's wonderful when you get to the point where you can stand back, look, observe it, and your life, even if you just put yourself and the way you've been playing your life until now, and you put it up and you see all the scenes and so you say, oh, my goodness, I don't think so. I don't think that's the role I want to continue playing. I think there's some adjustments there. I think that character needs a little bit of deeper formation and so on and so forth. Needs greater tone and texture and so forth. And I can, with that non-judgmental and no sense of guilt and no sense of fear and no sense of anything, but with the wisdom and the insight that sees, oh, that needs adjustment and that needs adjustment and that needs adjustment. So that's where we'll go, to the adjustment stage. And so those are the three different sets of powers that's pulling on you and me every day of our lives. And we oscillate between all three. We do. We never leave any one of them out while we're wearing a body. We're all the time in and out of those different power states, the tribal state, the personal state, and the cosmic state. But we want to spend more time in the cosmic state so that we can maneuver more beautifully the tribal state and the personal state of power. Now, it is long since studied that we have energy centers in our bodies, power centers in our bodies. And of course, in the Eastern side of life, they call it chakras. Here we call these energy centers, energy centers. And all of these energy centers have to be taken care of. They have to be recharged. We have to pay attention to when, I mean, we're like a power battery, each one of us is just like a big power battery. And when the energy goes down, you and I have to detect where the energy is going down and then plug ourselves in so that we can recharge ourselves. It is understood, metaphysically speaking, that the crown energy center is the vortex of our energy that is being fed from all the energy outside. It's funneled in through the crown chakra and then reaches all the various stages of the body. And so when we start with the lower chakras, the three lower chakras has to do with just making it and surviving and getting our fundamental needs met. And then the four higher chakras have to do with the interior side of life. The first three, the exterior side of life. I haven't got time to go into the chakras. One day I will do that. But these are just, be with me. They're energy centers. The first three has to do with the outside world and being able to maneuver successfully in the outside world. And then the top four have to do with the interior world, the world of soul, the world of that continuity of life that you and I are, that world that is the essential self of ourselves. And so we're playing these two roles. We're playing the role of the exterior personality and the role of the interior being. And we want to be able to make the two come together in a beautiful marriage, that cosmic marriage, that wonderful marriage of the human and the divine, and the congruence of that and the unified state of that and the oneness of that, helping us to move through this world no matter what's going on, with grace, with ease and peace and joy and poise and loving relationship with all, and creatively expressing. Because we can. That's how we're wired. That's how we're made, to be able to do and be that. But with all of the distractions of these lower three areas and that tribalness pulling on us and so on and so forth, we have our work cut out for us. But that only means that, that there will be challenges, but we're equal to them. We are equal to them, and we can maneuver them and get through them perfectly okay, as long as we know we are connected to something greater than we think we are, something greater than we feel we are, and something greater than we're experiencing that we are. And that something else is the essential essence of life itself, from which we came, from whom we came, or which we came, and that fills us all the time, is available to us all the time, present in us and around us and about us and above us, below us all the time, if we tune in to its power. So the whole idea is to stay powerful, because you've heard me say it before, it's all about energy, it's all about energy, it's all about energy. Now, just say that you and I have 100 units of energy available to us every day, and we can spend that energy, use that energy any old which way we want to use that energy. This energy is neutral energy, dynamic energy, not just like electricity. It's full of intelligence, unbelievable infinite intelligence available to you and to me. So we get these 100 units of this energy, this power every day. It is understood by many pieces of research that have been done, not only in metaphysics but in quantum physics too, that 80% of that energy is expended upon memories of the past and negativity. 80% memories of the past and negativity. So 80% of our energy, generally speaking, is dispelled, used up, and we're left with then 20% to take care of all of our life's needs. So we have a great depletion of energy. And, every time you and I deplete our energy, I'll tell you what's being depleted with it. Our immune system. Cellular tissue is being lost every time you and I blow up into negativity. Cellular tissue is being lost. And do you and I seriously want to lose our cellular tissue over somebody taking our parking place? Is that what we want to do? I don't think so. And I think if we were mindful and consciousness, there's no way we would do that. Yeah, I'm going to give up a piece of my body for you taking that, because you're a real son of a you-know-what's-it. Or any time you and I get into that energy zone that is, angry and irritated and vengeful and gossipy and all of that, we're depleting the tissue in our physicality. Now, I don't think that we would consciously do that if we were aware of it. Oh yeah, here, I'm going to spend so many cells on giving you a piece of my mind. And I don't care, I'm going to give it up because you need to know what I'm thinking. And even doing this, I can feel the energy drain. It's not good. So the call today is pay attention, wake up. You are empowered so that you can go and empower, not deplete your own and everybody else's. I'm going to take back my 80%, I can tell you that, as fast as I can, because my little cells need every bit of energy they can get. And I want to help them. I don't want to hinder them. It makes no sense for us not to be who we are created to be, and to be that sovereign self, and to knock off all the nonsense, and not be allowing people, persons, places, and things to make us sick. But they're not making us sick. We're making ourselves sick because we're allowing that energy to occupy us. So the question is, what is occupying your mind, your body, your emotional body today, this week, and has been? And how long are we going to hang on to the past that's strangling us, the resentments that are strangling us? How long is that going to take us to, knock it off, let it go, let it be, release it? And my goodness me, we'll automatically feel wonderful. Power. And here, in the bank of your mind, the spiritual bank of your mind, that's where every prayer goes. That's where every good wish goes. That's where all goodwill goes. That's where every kind act and deed goes. Fills up, empowers you, empowers you, empowers you. It's a power bank. And then you can use that power bank for good and blessing of everything and everyone around us. I love the story that Caroline Myss tells of the woman who's in a very bad crash. And a pileup occurs because of the crash. Her smashed body is up in the first car, and she's up out of her body looking down on the whole thing. And she sees a strange thing. She sees a light force, a stream of light coming from the fifth car back, going right up into her car and filling her body. And as she sees that, she's wondering, oh, I wonder what that is. And right there and then, she's right in the car beside this woman who is praying, God, I don't know who's in that car, but whoever's in that car, please give them the strength, give them the power, give them the will to survive, help them to heal, help them to be taken care of. May they live, may they get the help they need, and so on. This is going on. And she's feeling, as she hears this, so much deep gratitude. But in the cars ahead, she's hearing murmurs. Oh, for God's sake, another pile up. When is this going to stop? Oh, when is it going to end? When can I get out of here? I'm going to be late for my meeting. She's hearing all that murmuring. But in this car, it's so different. And then all of a sudden, as she goes into that deep gratitude, shoosh, she hears a voice saying, you've got to get back in your body now. This is not your time. You have to come back. But before she does, she gets the license plate of the car. And so she swooshed back into the body. She gets the help she needs. She survives. She comes round. And as soon as she's able to, she finds the address of that woman, and she arrives, knocks at the door one day with a huge bouquet in her hand. And she said, you're not hardly going to believe this, but she goes in and relates the story to the lady. You don't think power is felt? You see, every time you pray for somebody, every time you bless somebody, every time you wish somebody well, you are hitting a target. You are hitting a target, and your energy merges with the target's energy. And that's absolutely the way energy works. You're embroiled with that. You're attached to that. You're in it in a good way or a not so good way. If your target is a negative target and you're negatively sending out energy, you're going to hit your target, but you're going to get embroiled with that kind of energy too. So look at the power we have to raise this plane, to expand this plane, to heal, to mend, to fix this plane. Every time you pray for someone, every time you pray in any way, every time you have goodwill in your mind for everything and everyone, every time you're moved to a good deed, every time you make a difference, every time you show up as somebody's angel, you're empowering, you're filling up your bank there with this wonderful, wonderful, blessed energy that's keeping you whole and blessing you too. Well, we know this. Why wouldn't we do it? Why don't we stop the moaning, the groaning, the belly aching that's killing us? Why don't we stop the complaining? Why don't we stop the gossiping? Why don't we stop thinking badly of each other and just simply bless and bless and bless and bless and bless and bless every person, place, and thing? And we do it to begin with through gritted teeth until we can do it with a smile on our faces, because that's what's going to make the difference in this world, and that's what's going to turn the world around, and that's what's going to stop all that terrorism and all that warring and all that fighting and all that separation and all that isolation. That's what's going to stop it. And it's so simple, because you can do it, I can do it, anyone can do it, we can all do it. And if we're doing it as a group energy, it will be accelerated. So let us all make the commitment today to bless, to bless, to bless, and do nothing but bless. So help us good, so help us life, so help us God, and so it is.